Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Tarantula, The Giant Spider Invasion. These are just some of the movies that I like. Welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional, and this is Dave from Nerdbox, and I'm accompanied by my wife Jen, also from Nerdbox. And on this episode, we are talking about Jeepers Creepers Reborn. So fire up that Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
This is Brian O'Holler, and you're watching the Popcorn Confessional on the Nerdbox. Sounds like a porn site.
Chase is a horror fanatic who's also obsessed with the urban legend of the Creeper, who returns every 23 years to kill his victims. Lane, his girlfriend, is not a fan of horror or a believer of urban legends. However, she has agreed to go to the Horror Hound Festival, where she begins to experience unexplained premonitions and disturbing visions associated with the town's past. After Lane wins a contest at the convention, they are whisked away on a tour of the cemetery grounds that lead to the mansion tied to the legend of the Creeper.
Before we jump into this, don't forget that it is the quest for 5,000 subscribers, and you can help us get there by checking to see if you are subscribed to the channel. If not, please click on that little button. And you don't have to worry about clicking on notifications, because reviews and our other shows will always be there when you're ready to watch them.
Yeah, and let's get this moving, right? Because this box of cereal is getting dusty.
I hope you do dust down here.
Not the box of cereal.
You have a chance to win this box of cereal that my wife mentioned, and it is the Strawberries and Scream, signed by Matthew Lillard and David Arquette. And along the way on our quest, every video that hits 100 likes and 100 comments, you'll have a chance to win a prize. But let's talk about Jeepers Creepers. So this is the 4th film in the franchise, and it is a hard reboot where the previous films still exist, but only in this film to the characters. So the characters in this film are aware of the 3 original movies. And like I talked about when we did our review for Matrix Revolutions, I tend to like when a movie attempts to go outside of the box and come at a franchise or a story from a different angle, where it's like, hey, alright, sure, we've had these other movies, but let's kind of talk about them and still be about the movie. Now, where this latest movie is, thank God, not featuring Victor Salva, which we'll not get into, but me and my wife, we really didn't care for their previous films. Now, I know with the original film, I kind of liked it, and I think the same goes for you, up until the end, until the old lady starts breaking out the song and dance about Jeepers Creepers, and then I was like, ah, damn it.
Yeah, I was okay with the first film up until the end, and then the other 2, they were just, no.
Yes. So with this one, and as we all probably been yearning for, is to have a good creature or monster that's out there in the horror universe. So, a reboot, no Victor Salva. My expectations are already low. What the hell? Let's go see it, which we did. It was a Fathom event, a very costly Fathom event.
Yeah. Anywhere from $12.50 to $15 a ticket in this area, which is Scranton area of Pennsylvania. So if you're in a bigger city like New York, maybe just wait till it drops on TV.
If I didn't know that this was already sold to the Scream Media, I would say that this is a film that was just made so that the studio does not lose the rights. This is actually supposed to be the start of a new trilogy, and the FX in this movie are laughable, but not as bad as the creature design, which is a very unfortunate, because the creature himself, even though we didn't like the films, he is iconic in his look and his menacing approach.
Not in this one.
No.
He looked like a man in a Halloween costume.
Half complete Halloween
Yeah,
costume.
it wasn't even like complete. It was like he threw it together, like, you know, something you find up in grandma's attic or something.
Unfortunately, in some of the scenes in this movie, it only looked like they did half of his makeup on his face. I don't know if you've noticed that, but like there were shots where you could see like the creature face on the bottom, but then it looked like a regular man's face above. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. And you can also tell, unfortunately, that a lot of the scenes were done during the pandemic because the CGI was...
Listen. This is what kind of annoys me. The excuse of, oh, we're trying to do this during the pandemic and that ruined the film. Look, there's a lot of the films that were done during the pandemic. True. There was a lot of other ones that were using CGI. That's not an excuse.
No, this was actually just shoddy green screen and like piecing it together. It was so fake looking. And for me to notice that, that's a problem.
Oh, it was...
Because I don't do editing, I don't do any of that stuff, and I mean, he'll have to point things out to me typically. Oh, do you see where that was like a separate shot? Like, I don't notice that stuff. I noticed this, and it was not good.
Yeah, this was blatantly bad, but, as I mentioned at the open of this episode, right? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and the giant spider invasion, right? Movies that came out in the 70s and the 80s, and like this film that attempted to do, you know, special effects or stuff like that. This is kind of where it falls. So it's on the level of being bad, but somewhat enjoyable if you go in with extremely low expectations for this.
I mean, look, I liked some of the comedy. You know, the one redneck dude, he was pretty funny. I actually liked him. And I didn't mind Chase, the boyfriend. Lane, the girlfriend, was kind of annoying. I could have done without her one way or the other. Like, I just had no stock in her. Like, there was just nothing there.
Well, it's something that we've seen before. You have a fanatic, and then it's like, I don't know why you like that stuff. Why the hell are you a couple in the first place?
I mean, you gotta have some common ground, and that's like a huge one, right? Because if you're taking time and money to go to these horror conventions and your significant other doesn't want any part of it, it's going to cause a problem at some point.
Yeah, I agree. Now, with this film here, there are loads of Easter eggs and callbacks to the first half of the movie. That was kind of keeping my attention because ever since I've seen it with one movie, it's always that pinball machine where it's like, bling, 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 bling. I see all them. And
luckily, this was in the theater, though, so he couldn't pause it and rewind it and annoyed the shit out of me.
There was nothing to read. The best Easter egg in this film is probably the crackhead Pennywise. The movie's okay. Again, low expectations if you're going into it. Then you may find something out of it. Otherwise, you're going to see all the bad effects. And if you're a Jeepers Creepers fan, and if you're a Creature fan, or just a monster movie fan, you're going to hate this one. Because it's that bad. Even the kills were pretty lame in this one.
They were worse than lame. I can't, like, they just don't even, like, register on the meter for kills. They were pretty terrible.
Alright, so what do you rate this one?
For me, it's a nope.
A nope?
A nope. A nope, and I'm pissed off that I had to pay so much goddamn money to go and see it. I couldn't use my pass. I'm not happy.
Yeah, for me, I would watch it again if it was on TV. I don't know why. Again, maybe it's just a callback.
He'd take a nap to it because that's what he started to do in the theater. Hey, maybe you disagree. Maybe you saw it and you loved it. Or maybe you're really, really looking forward to it. Either way, we can agree to disagree because I will never see that monstrosity again.
Over on our Facebook page, the link is in the description. Why you don't see sometimes the 2 or 3 movie reviews that we normally would put out in the past is because some of them don't get that much of a review, or doesn't get that much of reviews on here, but we still have them put together, so if you're interested in something that's not horror, go over there and check it out. The latest movie that we just saw was...
See How You Run.
Which is a meta whodunit film.
Based off of some Agatha Christie.
With Sam Rockwell, and he always does a great job.
You remembered his name.
I do, because he's cool.
This is the first time you've remembered his name.
Yes, he's in that movie.
You forget his name all the time.
He's in that movie with the 3 billboards.
He's not the only one. I always forget Sam Rockwell's name, and I don't know why, because it's a very simple name, and he's awesome, but we always forget.
Yeah, I remember the movie, too. 3 billboards for Ebbing, Missouri.
No, 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
I missed one word. Anyway, don't forget to...
like, subscribe, and share.
And until the next, see ya.
See ya.